Cinnamon rolls. I make some of the best out. Follow me through this long ass process. Start with some green apples, peel them, saute them with cinnamon and brown sugar. Let them cool, set them to the side. Start with the dough, warm milk at about 105 degrees, no more than 110. You want to add the yeast and sugar to the warm milk. Mix all that up and then let the yeast activate for about 10 minutes. Once it activates, you're going to add the flour. I start with about a third of the flour and then add the rest of the ingredients. Mix that up real quick. 2 eggs. Make sure you ain't got no shells. A little bit of sugar, salt and cinnamon. And then at this point, I'm gonna go back and forth between flour and melted butter. A little bit more flour, a little bit more melted butter, just until everything comes together. Make sure you scrape the bowl throughout the whole process and let it mix until it starts to look like this. About 5 or 6 minutes, pull it out, let it proof for about an hour. Once it proofs, lay out some flour onto your surface. Some say not to roll out your dough. I roll it out anyway. Once you get it to the size that you like, add softened butter. Spread the softened butter evenly. After that, add the cinnamon and brown sugar mixture, and you want to make sure to spread the mixture evenly onto the whole surface of the dough. Then I'm going to add my apples. Again, they're cooled at this point. Add the apples, roll tight. Just repeat this process the whole way through until you get the amount of apples you like. Add apples, roll it tight. You gotta roll it tight to make sure them apples don't fall out. Add your last bit of apples, roll it tight one more time. Make sure it's tight and that it doesn't open. And at this point, you're just gonna portion your cinnamon rolls. I like them thick, but not too big. You know what I mean? Sometimes cinnamon rolls can be too big. I like a thick one, but not overly big. Cover it with saran wrap, and then I'm gonna let these proof one more time for another hour. Once they proof, let them bake. While they're baking, let's make our cream cheese frosting. Start with softened cream cheese, softened butter, and then we're gonna get both of those mixed up, creamed together. Once they're both soft, add a little bit of powdered sugar, some salt, and a good amount of vanilla, and just whip it. Add sugar, whip it. Add sugar, whip it until you get a good consistency and flavor that you like. Pop them Cinnabons up out of the oven. While they're hot, you gotta hit them with the frosting. So what I like to do is just add a real big dab to each of them as soon as they come out of the oven, so the frosting starts to melt on them. And then with the remainder of my frosting, I just add and spread onto each, and then hopefully they remain hot enough so the icing just melts. Those are my cinnamon rolls. Get you a bite.